Well, good morning. It's Alpine Church's Spiritual Living, Reverend Gay Beauregard here. And I wanted to share with you, first of all, the thought for the week. This is something I've been doing since 2003 when we had the fires here, the Cedar Fires. I write a weekly column for the Alpine Sun newspaper, and this is what it said this week. As we move through this time of increased awareness for safety, let us not forget to count the many blessings life continually gives us, such as the refreshing rain giving Mother Earth renewed with new life. Spring has arrived in all its glory. The continuum of life ever moves forward. We are part of that continuum as moving forward as well. Right now, there are researchers and teams of people developing a vaccine for this virus in our midst. Doctors and nurses in the medical community are responding to give help and serve in time of need. With the closing of schools, creative ways of educating our children are being developed and experienced. Now as never before, are we being called upon to bring the best out of a seemingly dire situation. Now is the time to plant seeds of trust, love, harmony, and cooperation. Know that there is a power within each of us that is greater than anything in the outer. Look for ways to be a blessing to those around you. Open your eyes and mind to the newness that is sprouting forth. It's time to strengthen our muscles of love and compassion, for we are all one human family. Let's get contagious with love and service. Say with me, we are all in this together, and together we are birthing a new life, one never before known or experienced. Today I look for ways to be a blessing and serve from my highest self. I live in cooperation rather than competition. This is a blessed day and I am grateful. Peace and blessings to all. Namaste. So let's go ahead and begin this session that we have just by closing our eyes and opening our hearts, opening our minds to this being that we are, allowing this beautiful spirit to come full forth into our acknowledgement, into our awareness, this divine energy that is breathing us, that is being us. Just take a deep breath. Feel that energy of life coursing through every cell of your being. And say thank you. Bless it. Know that what we are doing here in this moment in time, that we are divinely guided with it and through it. So we call out a blessing to all, whether we know them or not, that are part of this human family on this earth plane. We send love and blessings to all of those who are in pain, are in suffering, and know that loving touch is right there with them. So let's go ahead and recognize that there will be a message coming forth in the next few minutes, and that each one of us has a divine, individualized expression of this one power and presence. We call it God, we call it life, we call it energy, source, whatever the name. That each of us will have our own unique way of receiving the message that will be coming forth. And so I'm going to just allow us just a moment to close our eyes and open our hearts to ask, what is the message that I am to hear in the next few moments? And I know that as each of us are poised to receive that perfect message, that in the balance of the day and the weeks and ahead, that we will be able to bring that message to the reality of our life. So I simply say thank you, Mother, Father, God, for this life just as the way it is. We are so very, very graceful and so very, very blessed. Letting it go, knowing it is so. Together let us say, and so it is. Amen. Okay, well, blessings to you all. I have been sending blessings, literally, to everyone on this earth plane. And our message this morning is actually entitled Being a Blessing. We're finishing up the topic that we've been utilizing, the theme we've been utilizing this month of service. And so being a blessing just seems so much of a natural for us to focus on. Of course, when I made this decision, it wasn't the world situation wasn't what it was that it is now. But that's fine. It's perfect because we can all be a blessing regardless of what is going on around us. I first of all want to establish, if nothing else today, the continuum, the unity, the wholeness, the allness of life. And I'm talking about life with a capital L. That we want to recognize that when I'm sending out a blessing, when I'm sending out love vibrations, when I'm sending out kindness vibrations, I am connected to all. And so all are going to be recipients of that positive energy, whether they recognize it or not. And so I want us to think about that each of us is this light worker right now, that we each and all of us can send out love and blessings to all around us. I want to reiterate one of the messages in the thought for the week. Now is the time to plant seeds of trust, love, harmony, and cooperation. It's time to strengthen our muscles of love and compassion, for we are all one human family. Let's be contagious with love and service. So how many of you are reaching out? How many of you are seeing what others are doing to reach out? Again, I try not to put a whole lot of time onto the news situation, but I do. I drop into it. And what I saw there, which was really heartwarming, is there was a company, and I forget it was some sort of a whiskey company. And they literally, I don't know if this was just in San Diego, I didn't really catch that, but they are giving out bags of food to people who have been gone on to, they don't have the jobs anymore. What do they call that when you're off your work? And so they are giving out, they were going to be doing it another day, and another day, I mean, how long they're going to be doing it, but they're providing them with the food and even with, oh my gosh, toilet paper. And so I thought, great, how great is that? That they are recognizing that they can take their assets that they have, their ability, their energy, and give it out to those in need. Unemployment, that's what it is. You become unemployed. Duh, hello. When I went to the grocery store yesterday, I made the point of making sure that I purchased and restocked my power bars and my granola bars that I keep in my car. Because when I come up to the stoplight and there's someone there with a sign, I roll down my window and I hand him one of the bars. And this last week it was really heartwarming because there was a fellow, younger man, had a sign, hungry. And I was right there, first in line. I thought, perfect. So I rolled down the window and I handed him the bar, power bar. You should have seen the look on his face. He was surprised. He was grateful. He said, thank you so much. And I had time at the light long enough to watch him. He went back and sat down in this little huddle that he had been in. He opened it up carefully, and you could see that he was just savoring every single bite. So there's things that all of us can do for each other and with each other. Paramahansa Yogananda said, seek to do brave and lovely things which are left undone by the majority of people. Give gifts of love and peace to those whom others pass by. I was reading an article recently from the Unity Minister, Eric Butterwood, Excuse me, I should have my hanky more handy than it was. Um, Eric Butterworth is his name. He's now passed on to other types of experience in this past this earth realm. But I was reading the article, and what he was talking about is the fact that what he had been doing was to transfer or change out the word God to allness, to make it a capital A, allness. And that what he says that what that does for him is when he's praying, he's not praying to a God out there to do something. He's praying to the allness that is everywhere present, absolutely included right here within my own self. The kingdom of heaven is where? Here within. The kingdom of God is here within. And what a great thing to recognize that this allness has no beginning, it has no end. It is forever, eternal, infinite in nature. That's what we are. Oh my gosh. I believe that each of us, all of us, everything has been given a divine appointment to be here right now on this earth plane. We have been given this divine appointment by no reality of our own choosing, to be perfectly honest. When we think about it, though, when we go on from this earth plane, the reality with a big R, capital R, goes on. So remember that. I am here, I believe, and I believe all of us are here, to allow and let this eternal allness to move through us, to allow it to do its work through us. I believe that's what we're here for. So I believe that what we want to do is relax. Go within, ask, what is it that the divine inspiration, what the divine has, what the allness has in store, in mind, in thought, for me this day? And let me do it. When we ask and are open and receptive, oh my gosh, we will hear what needs to be said to us, what needs to be done by us. And I know that we will have the strength to do that. We will have the wherewithal to do it. Now, in my world as minister, I have been hearing an awful lot about the website Zoom. And in fact, on one of the calls that I was on the other day, everyone was talking about, oh yes, we're doing church on Zoom, and we're doing all these things on Zoom. And I'll have to tell you, I'm still recording this on my iPhone, and it'll be downloaded on the internet later, because my laptop doesn't have a camera on it. And I have been participating on Zoom calls with my phone, but when you host it, it's, I think, better to have it on your computer so that you can push the buttons and do whatever you need to do it. I don't know yet. I haven't done it yet, but that's what my assumption is. So, any event, this last week, yesterday, I realized, it came to me, duh, this is how you can do it, Gay. You don't have to go out and buy a new laptop. You can do it this way. So, I've got that under my belt. I'm very happy that I'm going to be able to start hosting these Zoom sessions, from home. And as we were on this call, with other ministers, something was mentioned about, oh yeah, people are getting together anyway. It doesn't matter if you're in your home, you can all do it. Everybody can do it. And they were even playing games. And I thought, oh my goodness, yes. Every Friday of every month at 6:30 p.m., we get together and we have game night at our church. So this Friday, at the first Friday of April, it won't be this, but April, whatever it is, 6th, I think it is. Go ahead, get yourself set up on Zoom beforehand, get yourself 6 dice, or the Farkle game, same kind of thing. You can go down to the dollar store and get 6 dice. And let's go ahead and play what we call Blow It, a dice game. And everybody can do that. Everybody can participate. I was also thinking we could do, you could play bingo that way. We just send out some copies of the cards, and let everybody play bingo. So there's lots of ways that we can still get together, and that'll become forthcoming. So how many of you have been connecting more with each other on phone calls? Yep, me too. Phone calls are very important to connect with someone. You see, we're connecting emotionally. We're distancing ourselves physically, but we don't want to distance ourselves emotionally. Stephen Levine said, if you had an hour to live and could just make one phone call, who would it be to? What would you say? And why are you waiting? Good point. A really good point. As I was on this phone call with the ministers, the host was able to break us up into small groups, which I hadn't experienced that before. So, and the question was asked, what are you most looking forward to when all this lockdown is over? Well, on the call, immediately, a couple of the people right away said, oh, I'm looking forward to getting together and hugging and kissing my children and my family. That's really what I want to do. And I was thinking, oh, I don't know if I should share with them what really my initial thought of what I was thinking. When this is over, I'll be glad that we are able to have the Padres baseball team again. That's what I was thinking. But I guess maybe I'm coming from that point of view because, you see, I have been on full grandma duty lately. My son and daughter-in-law both work out of the house. They both are still working. Their jobs are there. And the daycare's closed. So my little 23-month-old granddaughter needs somebody to watch her while they're working. So here, Grandma comes over to the rescue. Fortunately, they're not that far away. And I can drive over there and be there with her. And it's such a joy. It's the little tiny things in life that you miss if you're not around them. We're taking a walk down the street. And they come across a yard, a front yard, and they're small yards, that has a sign that says wildlife habitat. Well, I actually have a wildlife habitat in my yard too, so I'm familiar with this. And I looked closely, and they had a fountain going. They had like a ceramic tortoise, and then further and deeper in the yard, they had like a little owl, a little ceramic owl. So as we're walking, I said, "Oh, Adam, look, there's a tortoise. And, oh, look, there's an owl." And she's so cute because she goes, "Hoo, hoo." I mean, she will make the sound of the animal. And I said, I don't know what a tortoise makes. What sound does a tortoise make anyway? But in any event, when we were ready to leave, she wanted to say goodbye to him. So she would say goodbye, and she gave him a kiss. And so I actually was able to videotape it. And so darling, oh my gosh, because she did the goodbye about 5 times. She came back, went back again, and went back again. So I was able to capture it. One of the other things she did, I guess I'm a doting grandma at the moment. But one of the things she did was to ask me, she goes, "Grandma, sit down on that pillow." I said, "Okay, I'll sit on the pillow." Sit on the pillow, and she immediately says, "Sit, stay, good boy." And then she leaves the room. I went, what is she doing? Good boy? What are you calling me a good boy for? Well, then when I talked to her mother said, oh yeah, they have dogs. They had those dogs at the daycare. And so they tell the dogs, sit, stay, good boy. Well, you know what? A 2-year-old will repeat whatever is said around them. So, which is a lesson for me. I'm going to be more and more aware of what I'm saying to Adeline and come from a more positive point of view. So I believe that all of us are here. All of our souls have come together here by divine appointment. We're here to do this job that the divine has given us to do. And I really firmly believe that it is a divine appointment, that we're not in control of it, that we're not in charge of it individually, and that we all have divine appointments when to come and when to leave. Because I know there's a lot of souls right now on this earth plane that are leaving the earth plane, or that are suffering, and that are, going through this pandemic. And it's not fun. It's not something that we would wish to have. But I was talking to a friend of mine And I think she's looking at the bigger picture. She said, think about it, Gay. I believe that this whole Mother Earth that we call her is a living entity that knows exactly what it's doing. And that if you look through the history of time, Mother Earth has self-correcting processes. There have been the time when we had dinosaurs and then they were extinct. There have been times, many times, of all these epidemics and pandemics that have taken hundreds or millions of people off of the Earth plane. And she said, can you imagine, Kate, how many people would be on the Earth if none of that happened? You know, we can't know from our finite standpoint why these things are going on. All we can know is that there is a greater plan, there is a greater being, beating our hearts, breathing our breath, being everything in expression. And that if we can only trust it, if we can only have more confidence that I am here, that all of us are here doing exactly what we need to do. And especially if we open up our conscious level to be aware of that, how much more we can cooperate with the Spirit. I believe that we're being very, very creative at this moment in time on this earth plane. How many things have you seen on the internet about all the jokes about the toilet paper, for Pete's sake? You know, and one of them, I saw a video yesterday of somebody had taken the song, the Beatles song, I Want to Hold Your Hand. And of course they changed the word, I want to wash my hands. I want to wash my hands. You know, and so to bring this creativity, this lightness to what's going on. One of the other quotes that I saw was, it was a picture of the world. Actually, Marcy posted this. It said, that's it. You're all in timeout until you can learn to get along, God. Well, you know, there's something to be said for that. We're all on timeout to be able to stop and breathe, to be able to meditate more, to be able to have self-care more, to be able to reach out on the phone or via email to others. Know that you are a blessing. Be that blessing to someone else. And finally, I want to close with a quote from Amelia Earhart. A single act of kindness throws out roots in all directions. And the roots spring up and make new trees. The greatest work that kindness does to others is that it makes them kind themselves. We've said it before. You can't give away what you don't have. Be kind to yourself first. Be loving to yourself. Acknowledge this beautiful being that you are, living its life. Be up for this. Be up for the challenge. Be up for the joy of it, the love of it, the life of it. You are blessed. You are loved just as you are. Namaste.